Peace flowers and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Monica, aka the Mahogany Sunflower. How y'all doing today? I wanted to come and talk to you guys about generational curses, past life karma, karmic children, and cursed bloodlines. This is going to be a channeled message that I got from the ancestors the other day. I'm actually going to post this on both of my pages, so peace to all my subscribers. If you're watching on Mahogany Sunflower, thank you so much for subscribing. Please make sure to like, share, comment. Continue to show that love. If you're over here on the Sunflower Oracle page, thank you again for subscribing and watching. Again, please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you like the vibe. Join this beautiful tribe, blossoming and blooming to their highest and fullest potential, okay? So we're going to get deep. We need a little deep today, do some ancestral kind of healing work. Some generational trauma, curse, healing work. Like I said, I want to talk about generational curses, past life, karma, karmic children, and cursed bloodlines. This is really deep, heavy subject. So if any of this is sensitive for you, I want to go ahead and place a trigger warning on this. Some of this information can definitely trigger you. So watch with care, or go ahead and click off of this video and save it for another time when some kind of you've dealt more with that kind of shadow aspect of yourself. Okay, so if you see me looking down, of course I have notes. Okay, so let's talk about what generational curses actually are. Okay, so they are just a negative pattern that is repeated in the family over generations. Now it could either be passed down like from generation to generation, or it can skip a generation. Okay, so for example, if you have anxiety, or often find yourselves in like abusive relationships, this could have shown up either through your mother or through your grandmother. Okay, it could have skipped your mother and been something that your grandmother dealt with and now you are dealing with, or each generation, your grandmother, your mother, and you, and possibly even your daughter, could have this kind of curse passed down. And we are going to talk about how you can heal generational curses so that they can stop being handed down to the next generation. Okay, now types of generational curses, like I said, can be anxiety, as simple as anxiety. There can also be addiction, anger issues, poverty, like bad finances, like bad financial management, abusive relationship, family affairs, like affairs, your like parents stepping out of the relationship to go have an affair elsewhere, or single parenthood. Okay, type of generational curses that can follow you through many generations. So it's definitely important for you guys to talk to your elders, talk to your grandparents, your great grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and find out, kind of just talk to them and kind of pinpoint, not, you don't have to ask them directly, but just kind of ask questions. Just ask questions like very nonchalantly, because they love to tell stories. Okay, oh, elders love to tell you a story, so it'll probably naturally come up, and you'll begin to notice like, oh, I kind of through that. I'm kind of going through that in my life, or oh, I remember my mom and my dad talked about that. So you'll begin to pinpoint how each generation kind of had to deal with something, how they navigated through it, and if they, took steps to heal that, or if it just manifested within the next generation. Okay, so whatever you deem as negative, literally whatever you deem as negative for your family, or something you have repeated and do not want your children to repeat, this is this is how you identify the curse. Okay, this is how you identify the curse. Whatever it is, whatever negativity around you, around the people around you, pinpoint that and deem that as the curse that you want to break. All right. No one really has to tell you what this is. You can acknowledge it for yourself and you can break it. Simple. All right. So the first step to breaking, or actually, yeah, I think we're gonna get to that, because this is gonna be talking. I'm gonna break down 3 steps, in order to heal these generational curses. I might even give you guys a meditation link, 555, as I said that. Okay. All right. So we're gonna establish some changes, real changes, break some curses. Okay, because this is it for those who are really serious about this transcending, healing, elevating. Then this kind of work is for you. I want to give you guys some kind of background. Like I said, I got a channeling yesterday. This is gonna be a channel message that I got for there's a karmic feminine out there who is dealing with a dry womb. Okay, dealing with reproductive issues, dealing with a drought within the womb. Okay. And my spirit guides told me that this is reproductive issues. Now, again, this is trigger warning. Okay. And I also want to preface by saying you don't necessarily have to be a karmic in this lifetime if you are dealing with any kind of reproductive issues, male or female. Okay. It was told to me that reproductive issues are either this life or past life karma. There's some kind of generational karma that has not been dealt with, has not been healed, and those issues show up as karma. Okay. Spiritually, speaking on the spiritual side, speaking from the spiritual sense of this. Okay. Okay, so ancestral curses, generational curses show up in 2 forms. Okay, they show up as things that we don't do. Okay, as simple as you're refusing to stand your ground, set boundaries, listen to the warning signs, like listening to your gut, your intuition, listening to your, your actual ancestors speaking to you, speaking through you, or listening to your immediate family, your immediate ancestors, and not heeding warning. Okay. Or they can also show up as deliberate changes or deliberate choices, the choices that you set out intentionally to make, your individual actions that affect the destiny of another individual. Okay, this is karma. This is what karma is. This is the law of karma. Okay, whatever you put out, you get back. And this, like I said, this can show up as two ways, because you could not even know that the certain choices that you are making, the certain behaviors that you are making, are the result of past life karma, generational karma, ancestral karma. I remember making, if you're watching on my Mahogany Sunflower channel, I remember making a video about the busybody mentality, about being just really feeling really anxious all the time and feeling like I always had to do something, like never feeling the need to have to, or never feeling comfortable relaxing. Now, this also has to do a lot with my birth chart, the way my houses and planets and signs kind of are. I personally this is I feel like this shows up on two sides because I am aware of it. Okay, I am going to be able to do something to change it, to break it. But back then I was not aware of it. Okay, so the simple what I want to say, choice action of acknowledging what that anxiety is, like acknowledging that pattern existed. You know, I was saying that my mom has it, that my great aunt has it. Acknowledging that curse, that negative pattern exists within me, I can deliberately make a choice to alter that. Okay, now I feel like, again, like I said in that video, I feel like it has a lot to do with, and even talking to my mom some more, it was coming out of post-slavery. A lot of the women in my family had to deal with that. Like, not only did my great grandmother have to deal with, you know, slavery, but the end of it, and then, you know, subsequent generations ultimately had to take on that karma, you know, take on that karma from slavery. Okay. Because we weren't actively because we don't actively know, or we weren't actively taught about karma, we aren't able to recognize the curse. We aren't able to recognize the repercussions of past life karma. Okay. I know I started off talking about reproductive issues. It's gonna come full circle, I promise. Okay. But we ultimately build more karma in this lifetime by the choices we make, also on top of past life, like on top of the karma our ancestors left behind. So as a healer, as a diviner, as an empath, as an advisor, if you are into this kind of work, it's very important to be aware of not only your karma, but the people that you work with, or the people that you deal with, the people you get into relationships with, because you can also pick up their karma, and it's very heavy. Take it from me. I'm going to make a separate video about spiritual husbands and spiritual wives, because that is also a type of ancestral curse. Okay. Now, when we talk about bloodlines and generational curses, okay, your family. Remember, we talked about the two categories of curses. Okay, they're in the intentional and the unintentional. Okay, your family could have very well been a part of the could have been a part of either category. Now, for example, if you were on the intentional side of slavery, okay, you are going to have, like, white people are going to have immense karma for that intentional act of facilitating trying to alter the destiny of another individual, another group of individuals. And then on the other scale, those who were a part of slavery are the have the unintentional, okay, have the unintentional deeds where their families were sought after and raped and killed and molested and sacrificed, and that kind of karma shows up differently within you know Black people's generations, whereas within the white generation, that karma is That's just a whole nother kind of a whole nother kind of deal. Okay, and like I said before, karma in your bloodline can show up as generational poverty, bad relationships, chronic illness or disease, addictions. It can manifest or mental illness, and mental illness in the aspect of the spiritual, of a spiritual disorder. Okay, where where you can manifest psychosis, which is your inability to um, have be grounded in reality. Okay, schizophrenia or bipolarness, or bipolar disorder. Okay, um, or even, like I said, anxiety, constant anxiety, which is ultimately just your spirit being perpetually ensued, like constantly sought after. Okay. All right, so let's break down a little bit what what karma could kind of look like, how it can look present day. Okay, so present day karma, you ultimately inherit generational energy problems. So your energy is ultimately affected. You could have a lot of debris or holes and toxicity and blockages in your aura field, in your energy aura field, which ultimately attracts entities. Okay. And there are all kinds of entities. There are positive entities and there are demonic entities. When you have these kind of holes and rips and tears and blockages in your aura field, it is access. It's very, very easy access for these entities, these demonic entities, to enter. These type of entities are called archons. And archons they feed off of imbalance in the energy. They create imbalance in the energy. They are air. They create imbalance and air. Air is ultimately thoughts, okay? They create an imbalance in your thought processes and in your spiritual, okay? Now, when they attach on to these this energy, to this toxic energy, to these blockages, they feed off of that. They feed off of that and they amplify that, and they attach themselves to continuously work on that, to continuously perpetuate that that curse. They want to, that's all they know, that's all they do. They want to continue and feed on off of that curse, which ultimately will lead you to attract people, places, things that amplify the generational curse. Okay, for example, you enter into adulthood and you begin your childbearing years. Okay, you start to attract relationships that want that trauma to continue. This is where you notice patterns within the men or the women in your family or in the person that you attract's family. Meaning you could pick up the men could pick up the same type of women, be attracted to the same type of women, treat the women the same way, stepping out on the women, having multiple relationships at once. Okay, could show up as domestic violence or having illegitimate children. Okay, you unbeknownst to you. Okay, if you are unaware of your own generational trauma, your own generational curses, the past life karma that's been in your bloodline, you will attract all that is still in your energy field. So you will begin to attract people who feed off of that energy. Okay, so here you are. I'm going to use myself as an example. I want to preface, well, I don't want to say preface, but I don't mind sharing my story with you guys because I'm here to each one teach one. Okay, if you attract, as a woman, you begin to, you begin to, you are, like I said in the past, I was unaware of I was aware, but I was unaware of the consequences of that karma. Okay, so I was aware that there was a generational anxiety, a generational trauma of constant anxiety and always feeling the need to do something. Okay, and it ultimately manifested in my life where I attracted an individual who fed off of that energy, who fed off the holes in my aura field, who fed off of the karma in my life. Okay. um Now you can, unbeknownst to me, and even to you, you can attract this type of person who will help you facilitate this generational karma. Okay, not only in your bloodline but also in their bloodline. So not only are you picking up, you are continuing the karma from your family's generation, you are picking up that person's curses as well. So the generational curse, the energy imbalance, the blockages in your auric field, okay, they are amplified because not only have you carried yours, you also have this other person's as well. Okay. Now you can also on the other end of this, make a conscious choice to attract someone who will help you clear out those blockages and turn that trauma, break that trauma so that you can start a new cycle and you don't have to pass it down to the next generation. Okay. Um, okay. The best way to check for karma, generational karma, is to check your birth chart. Check your birth chart. Your birth chart will tell you where the imbalances lie, and check before you get into relationships. It's important to check birth charts. I know it's kind of difficult. um, if you're gonna start like a serious relationship, like if you're just dating, you don't need to check. Well, I would say if you're dating, you should still check to see if you are even compatible and should be even wasting your time or spending your time wisely. But certainly when you're about to like have children, when you are ready to have children, it's important to check that their birth charts and see where they have blockages, where they have holes, where they have inconsistencies and imbalance. Okay. So, like I said, or did I say? I'm going to say, when you begin to, in order to break these curses, this trauma, deactivate these toxic bloodlines, okay, you want to become aware so that you do not pass this down to your children. Your children can inherit these these curses, this karma. Okay. We like to protect our children. We love to protect our children. We should protect our children, but there are a lot of karmic children out here. There are a lot of karmic children who are reincarnates of bad ancestors, of toxic ancestors, of those ancestors who might have killed, stolen, destroyed, altered someone else's destiny in order to enhance their own. Okay. And this is how karma is created. When you by people who have either killed through sacrifice, or made some type of sacrifice that they made that has altered human destiny, whether as that individual or as a group. Like I said, okay, it could be as simple as the post-traumatic slave syndrome, where as Black people, as melanated people, we have generations of toxic um, ancestral debt. Okay, and then there are, within your family, ancestors that you may not have not do not know about, who um, were out here living foul, living completely foul, and doing really foul things to the family. Like, you could have a grand parent or an uncle who beat on the women, and or had multiple women, okay, or had multiple children, okay, and this shows up uh, within subsequent generations, okay. So you got to be careful, so that we aren't out here creating more karmic children, okay, because your children can inherit these debts, these curses. You as an individual may have tried to clear out some of this karmic debt by, like, some of the by doing your soul mission work, by doing work that helps uplift the vibration of humanity, and the vibration of the planet. Okay, you might be out here doing healing work, and healing yourself and healing others. Okay, but trying to make healthier choices, in love and life. But the unbeknownst to you, you end up, like I said, you end up attracting certain people, certain places, certain things, certain partners that you tie yourself into, and you tie yourself into their bloodline, into their cursed bloodline, and you end up picking up their karma. Okay, which now, once you go to have children, once you go to reproduce, you now have split. You now have splits the DNA. You now have passed down those curses. Now, like I said, not only from your side, okay, but also from this other person's side. Now, it is easy for say you as an individual are in a relationship with somebody for, let's say, 5-6 years, okay, and you have tried to do your healing work. You've tried to clear out the karma in your life. You're trying to do good, learn more about yourself, learn more about your family, so that you cannot repeat certain things, okay, but you are yoked with this person who you like, who you possibly could even love, but you are also unaware, like, you pick up on maybe things, they're negative. You pick up on things negative in their life, in their family, and although you are aware of it, you are, like I said before, you are unaware of that it is a curse, that that it is a generational thing that is passed down, that has been passed down, okay? Past life karma. Both of you have past life karma. Now, you come to a time where y'all have children, okay? Y'all have children together, and again, unbeknownst to you, this curse, this generational trauma is now reproduced, manifested through this child. So not only does this child have both of y'all's karma, okay, whether or not you have done the work to try to kind of heal yourself, this kind of the demonic cursed karma is going to show up, because it's half. They have both of y'all's DNA as a part of this child now, okay? So they have not only inherited both curses, but it's going to be even harder for you as the individual who was trying to transcend these curses, to heal not only yourself but this child, okay? So if you're wondering, like, if you were ever wondering why you're always tired, like in parenthood, you're always tired, you're always stressed out, you can't enjoy being a parent, or like a mother or a father, you can't enjoy your child because your child is always possibly acting out, or always talking back, or just just in really toxic demonic energy. um I'm sorry, I don't mean to snark at that, but to notice that when you start to notice the bad characteristics in your child from the person that you yoked with, okay, that's that's the curse. That's the curse handed down. That's the traits. That's the bloodline being manifested. Okay. And if you don't catch on to that, if you don't heal that, if you don't acknowledge that again within yourself and within that child, it will continue to have it will continue to manifest as karma. Okay, karmic children will continue to manifest that karma, and it will continue to be passed down through the many generations. Okay. um okay, it's like I was saying, so that child becomes ultimately has become a tool to not only lower your frequency, okay, and lower your bloodline, because you, like I said, you don't know, you were not fully aware. You were not fully aware that the people that you mix with, or the person that you mix with, they're not at all spiritual. They're in fact probably very narcissistic, very materialistic, very just damaged. Uh, but their ancestors want to survive. Okay. If you think about this spiritually, okay, I know you have your ancestors with you always, but there are not always good ancestors out there. There are bad ancestors out there who sense your bloodline. They sense your ancestors. They sense your frequency, and they want to have that. They want to have that healing ability. They sense your healing abilities, your ability to heal yourself and others. They sniff that out and they feed on that. Like I was saying, those entities, they feed off of this this imbalance. They want to, because in the spiritual realm, in the ancestral planes, in the ancestral realms, they are suffering. Okay, they are still suffering from that karma, and that's why it is ultimately facilitated, handed down again through each generation. Okay, they want to remove some of that karmic debt. Those bad ancestors want to remove some of that karmic debt, because they're not they're not living that good life up in the ancestral planes. They want to be where your ancestors are. Okay, just like in the 3D, in the physical, in the 5D, there are tiers. There are tiers, and those ancestors, those karmic ancestors, those bad ancestors, that cursed bloodline, they want to to clear some of that. They want to clear some of that debt. So they ended up working through you. Okay. Some of Trigger warning, some of you all are your ancestors reincarnated. Some of you are your ancestors reincarnated. I know I am. I know that I'm an indigo. I'm a star seed. I am a light worker. Okay. Now, oftentimes, empath light workers attract narcissistic, very materialistic, demonic forces, because those narcissists, feed off of healing energy, feed off of a high emotional intelligence. When you have a high emotional intelligence, you often attract those who have no type of emotional intelligence. They are very unaware of their emotions. They are unable to show emotions, tapping into their emotions. So they feed off of the high vibrations of another individual. Okay, so as you go through life, and as you start to pick up on, like, why am I keep attracting the same type of people? Why do I keep ending up in the same type of relationships? It's probably because not only, again, your kind of generational karma, but the ancestors, the people that you're being, that's that ultimately, I want to say attracted to you. Okay, because you guys could be attracted to each other, okay, whatever, but they're feeding off of that energy. They want to do more, do better, and excel, ascend. Okay, they don't want to remain where they are in the ancestral realms. Okay. All right. Now, like I was saying, there are bad answers out there that can get reincarnated. The way that astrology lines up, or the way that your energy field lines up, will create a portal for these ancestors to come through. Okay, and ultimately create unfinished business within the bloodline. All right, and this unfinished business ultimately shows up again, manifests even more as creating more curses, more blockages, more karma, more cursed bloodlines. So the cycle just continues for generations and generations and generations and generations. Okay, because those bad answers can show up through you, they can show up through children. I mean, everybody is somebody's child, right? So those bad ancestors could come through, and you could be on either side of the scale. You could have come back to do a certain, you could have come back to this planet to do for a certain mission. Okay, even if you, like I said, star seeds, light workers, empaths, indigo children, even if you're a twin flames have a specific mission here on Earth. Okay. And then there are those who are on the opposite scale of that, who are sent here to be karmic vessels, okay, to facilitate the matrix, ultimately to facilitate the division, the divide between humanity, to continue to diminish people's bloodlines, to put curses on people's bloodlines. That's their mission. That's all they do. That's all they know. Okay, so if you're wondering why somebody's family is just, the people in their family are just always toxic and like bad and make bad choices, and that's why. Okay, and that's ultimately that's a whole nother story. But when you we won't get into that. We won't get into that into this video. Okay, there's a type of energy harvesting that takes place, especially through sex. Okay, I might do that video next, because sex is an intense energy exchange. When you have sex with someone, they take your energy. And I'm going to do a video about sex magic, succubus, and incubus spirits as well. But when you have sex, that energy is taken from your DNA, from your bloodline. Your energy is taken from your DNA, and they feed those entities feed. That's a way, a big way that those entities feed off of your energy, and it puts that energy in theirs. So when they come after you, and they're constantly trying to have sex with you, or trying to they're trying to get your energy, they're trying to steal your energy, and then you wonder why you feel tired, or you feel not good, when you don't feel equally fulfilled, when you feel sluggish. Your energy has been stripped away. Your energy has been taken. Somebody has taken your ashe. Somebody has taken your magic. Okay, and they are trying to put it in theirs to transcend their bloodline, transcend their curses, to alleviate their curses. All right. Now, say y'all exchange this sex, and a child is produced. That child then becomes the manifestation of this ritual that has been going on for generations. Okay, the child has picked up the DNA, like I said, the DNA, the blockages, the curses of both sides, predominantly the bad, the karmic stuff that has not been healed, that has not been worked on to grow, to heal. Okay. So once again, karmic children are bad answers reincarnated. Now the spiritual science behind this, like I said, because the channeling that I got was that there was a karmic feminine out there. There are karmic feminines out there that are dealing with a dry womb. are dealing with reproductive issues, and this is the result of this life or past life karma. Whatever you did in this life, there is something that you either did in this life or in a past life that is the result of that, of reproduction issues. Like I said, either in men or women. But because I got the channeling about a specific woman dealing with a dry womb, just know that spiritually, the spiritual science behind the reproductive issues, spiritually, okay, it is past life or this life karma. Now, I'm sorry if you do not feel like you are karmic in this lifetime and you are dealing with some type of reproductive issues spiritually. Just understand that it has either something to do. It could. Let me say this, because it could either be something that you did in a past lifetime, or it could be the result of something that your ancestors did in a past lifetime. Something that happened that you're not aware of, that your ancestors dealt with. Now, it could either be I want to say, I'm picking up another channel message. It could be either something that could have been done intentionally or unintentionally. Like, I'm getting, it was on the unintentional, you could have ancestors that were constantly raped or molested and beaten. Their womb just was overused and abused, and that, as a result, as you reincarnated, that was passed down to you. That karma was passed down to you. That unfortunate karma was passed down to you. Now, on the intentional side, if you were someone who, I'm picking up two things: either did the action or allowed, like saw the action happen and allowed it to happen, or if you or even if you were you were very loose in a past life, or just very out there, very didn't take very care of your body, or if you just had multiple sex partners all the time. That's some kind of karma that you built up within your DNA, within your bloodline, and now that is the manifestation of the result of your current life. Okay, so that's the manifestation of the karma in your current life. Okay. Talked about that already. All right, so yeah, like I said, so you find yourself in parenthood, you find yourself in mommyhood or daddyhood, and you find that you're always stressing over this child. This child is always draining you. The energy is always draining you, and it is because this child is now half demonic. They have half demonic energy. They have a half demonic entity on you, unbeknownst to you, though. Okay, you know now, but unbeknownst to you, you have now produced a child with half demonic energy. And like I said before, you can heal this this trauma. You can heal this bloodline, but it's going to take intense healing, not only from you to clear out that energy from your bloodline, but also from that child. Okay, it's going to take a lot of work for you. It's going to take a lot for you to work with that child to clear out the bloodline. Okay, because you've mixed with the demon. You mix with the demon, you mix with the succubus or an incubus who was just after your energy, who was just after your magic, after your healing power, after your bloodline. They were after your DNA. They sought you out because they wanted to heal whatever toxicity was in their bloodline, and elevate themselves on a put their DNA, their ancestors on a higher scale. All right. I keep saying angel numbers, and I keep wanting to shout them out as I say this, but because I'm going to be posting this on 2 different pages. Yeah. So so when you ultimately reproduce with a demon, okay, it's going to show up in mental health issues, reproductive issues, depression, anxiety, because you picked up a entity or a spirit. You've picked up an entity or a spirit, okay? Now, when I've noticed that when you try to remove yourself from this energy, like from the succubus, incubus kind of sex magic entities, those people get very angry. Okay, they those demons start going crazy because they can no longer feed off of your energy, and they start to react differently. Okay, when you start to, if you find yourself trying to remove yourself from a situation and an individual gets mad that you don't want to share yourself with them, when you don't want to share your sacred energy with them, when they get mad because you don't want to have sex with them, cut them off. Run far. Take everything you love, including your children, and run. Okay, because they are an intentional demonic spirit trying to get back and feed off of your energy. They are trying to, like I said, that sex is probably one of the most powerful energy exchanges out there. That is a very intense soul tie. That is a very intense soul tie. That is a very big way that these entities have an energy harvest. They feed off that energy. Okay, so now that we got a little bit of background on generational curses, karmic children, cursed bloodlines, let's talk about how you can heal, how you can break some of these generational curses. Okay, so like I said before when we first started this, the first step is to identify the curse. Identify the curse, what it looks like, put a name on it, put a name on the curse, put a name to the negative pattern, whatever it is. If it's the mental health issues, if it's the depression, if it's the anxiety, whatever it is, if it's the constant affairs, the domestic violence, the serial dating, or whatever that is, being a single parent, put a name to it, identify it, acknowledge it. And step 2, identify the triggers. Okay, so go back and study the cycles, the patterns. Ask your family members what caused you to lead down this path. So what actions, the intentional, the deliberate choices that you are making, that they made, that led them to down this path. All right, and just know that the universe is going to test you on this journey. They're going to test you. They're going to place intentional triggers in your life that will manifest in your reality as a test. Okay, so when you feel like, why am I constantly being tested? What is this test like? It's a trigger on purpose for you to become aware of the curse, to become aware of the pattern, to become aware of the negative pattern. Okay, so that in order for you to so that you can better break the curse, so that you can better build that spiritual muscle. You can better build that spiritual muscle and be able to break the curse. Okay, like I said, you need to ask the people who already made the mistakes in your family. Okay, because you can be totally unaware. Some people don't even know that they are a victim of a generational curse. Could totally not even be aware that you are a victim of a generational curse. Okay, the person that you connect with could not even be aware that they are a conduit of this generational curse. Okay, they could even be in denial. You could be in denial that this is a curse. Okay, you can't accept that you've fallen victim to this pattern. You can't accept that, oh, I like to be I like to be a cheater. I like to have multiple relationships. I like to have multiple women because that's all I've seen. That's all I've known. My friends do that. My family do that. All of the people that I surround myself with take that action. That's all I know. Okay, you don't know that you're a busybody, that you like to move around and do this and do that, that you're always anxious for a reason unbeknownst to you. Okay. um okay, or on the other side of that, you could be very aware. You could be very aware of the addictions, and struggle with having emotional imbalance, such as anger issues or financial issues. Okay. They are aware of it, but they are unable to admit it within their own circumstances, and sometimes view themselves as weak, again, as playing victim. You want to fall victim to this curse, like you just accept that this is just how you've always been. This is how the people in your family have always been. So why should you change? Okay. That's not how you break a curse. For not trying, you don't change 555, as I said that, 50-55, as I said that. You don't change. You don't make a change. You don't make an intentional decision. And while you, or if you understand the curse, if you understand that this is generational, that anger runs in your family, that financial issues run in your family, and you intentionally choose not to make a choice to change that, that is going to amplify, continue the curse, continue the karma within your bloodline, within your DNA. Okay. So start digging, start doing deep research into your family history, of how they got there, of how they got to that point of why nobody's able to save money, why nobody's able to keep a job, why nobody's able to communicate without getting angry or punching somebody, why somebody has to have multiple relationships at a time, why somebody is constantly being abused in a relationship all the time. Acknowledge that. Find out how you got there, how the people before you, the ancestors before you, got that. Okay. And the most important and final step, as we close this out, okay, is identify alternative responses, behaviors, and consequences for these curses. Okay. What will you do in place of their coping mechanism? So once you find out how they coped with this trauma, because that's really all what this is, how they coped with whatever trauma they dealt with, do the opposite. Once you figure out their coping mechanisms, you can do the opposite, and you can better grow, you can better heal, and begin to fix the DNA, begin to fix the bloodline. Okay. Yeah, because like I said, most often generational curses are just coping mechanisms, how an individual handled the trauma, how an individual handled the curse. A generational curse is the coping mechanism to the trigger. So whatever triggered you is how you coped with it. However, whatever the curse was that triggered you is how you coped with it. All right. So that is all I have for you guys. This is a pretty intense, pretty in-depth video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, found some truth, clarity, and confidence, some healing, some much needed healing in this. Yeah. Be love and light, y'all. Acknowledge your role. Become aware of not only who you are, but who you are connecting with. And make better choices. Make better choices in love and life. And let's heal our generations for our children, okay? For our children's children. We want trying to ascend the vibes of the planet. That's it. All right, that is all I have for you guys. Please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you like the vibe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace and love, y'all. Ashe.